The act of visualizing can make some people feel as though nothing has really happened, as though they haven't really connected with or created their desire. This can happen when we see a scene in our minds from the vantage point of getting there rather than already being there. When we view our manifestation as something we need to accomplish, instead of embodying the fulfillment of it, we are vibrating the signature of something that has not yet been accomplished, not the signature of something that already is. And in doing so, we get more of that. As Neville Goddard states, feeling is the secret. What we feel, we vibrate the signature of. And whatever we vibrate the signature of is what we attune to and experience from the field of infinite possibility. So the trick is to feel the fulfillment of our desire and dwell in the state of it having already taken place. And one of the biggest questions I get is this: how do I do this? How do I live from the state of having my desire? The first step is to become okay with what is. Don't fight it and don't get frustrated with it, because you'll only produce more of that. And then you move from pretending to have your desire to actually being in the state of embodying and experiencing your manifestation. Pretending leaves doubt in the mind. Embodying makes you the actual experience of the thing you are creating. You create the identity of the person who has manifested this thing, and you become what you desire. To do this, ask yourself the following questions just prior to envisioning your goal. Number 1, in having this thing, how do I respond to the world around me? And number 2, how do I think and behave with this manifestation as a part of my life? And then take the time to determine how your perception and feeling states would change in the event that you are the person who lives with this manifestation. In other words, give yourself the experience of it and embody how that feels. Here's the way Neville Goddard explains it. A short time ago, a friend told me she would love to visit Norway, but felt she could not afford it. I suggested that she dwell in Norway by seeing the world from Norway. She was not going to look at Norway from Los Angeles, or ask how she was going to get there, but to simply sleep as though her bed was in Norway and it was the only substance. I received a card from her today from Norway, where she confessed that she dwelled in the state as though she was there, and she received a call from a casting office requesting her to make a picture in Norway. You see your manifestation from the point of having it, from a point of being there, with it, living it as your reality. You dwell in the state of it. And what is a state of being? Again, in the words of Neville, a state is an attitude of mind, a state of experience with a body of beliefs which you live by. Always expressing a state, you identify yourself with it by saying, I am poor or I am rich. I am known or I am unknown. I am wanted or I am unwanted. Your state of being is your identity. I am the person who experiences. And what Neville is saying in this statement is that you are either in a positive or negative state of being regarding your manifestation. You must choose which state is most important for you to nurture. And when you persist in a desired state, you will move into it and make it your reality because your perception will shift. Everything is temporary, and the most crucial thing to note is that you cannot fight what is currently happening in your life without producing more of the same of what you're fighting against. So you recognize that change will come at the right moment when you persist in your desired state. It has to start with you. The outside world will not change until you do. Go into solitude several minutes per day to create the identity of the person who already has this thing. Tell yourself that you will feel differently about yourself in that moment, and then create it and bask in that state. When you stop reacting to the world you currently see, accept what is as it is, and enter into the state of being where your creation has already happened, your perception and behavior will change, And when these two things change, you will automatically sync up with your manifestation. You have all of the tools within you to do this, all of the tools to become what you desire. And once you do, the world around you must reflect that back to you.